Have you heard of the Tony Stark theory?
No.
So we all know that Tony Stark is the reason why a lot of like MCU villains were created, like Ultron, Mysterio, and Vulture.
He indirectly created them.
So in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, Spider-Man and Miles Morales both get bit by a radioactive spider that was made from Oscorp. And the same thing happens with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Right.
But New Rockstar did a theory that Tom Holland's Spider-Man actually was bit by a radioactive spider that was actually made by Tony Stark.
No way.
So think about it. In Spider-Man No Way Home, Green Goblin says, I went to my house and someone else is living in it, and there's no Oscorp here. And since Oscorp doesn't exist in Tom Holland's universe, it would make sense that Stark Industries, the leading laboratory in the MCU, created the radioactive spiders. And we know that ever since he was a kid, Tom Holland's Peter Parker would go to the Stark Expo, just like we saw in Iron Man 2. So what if years later, he actually went back to the Stark Expo and he actually got bit by the radioactive spider there?
That could be very possible.
Even in Spider-Man Homecoming, you can tell that Tony Stark's been monitoring Peter Parker's every move. And Tony knew that Peter Parker had powers before he approached him in Civil War, because he knows that one of his radioactive spiders got out. And this all makes sense why Tony feels such a responsibility to protect and guide Peter.